Bigbossjock radio show. Listeners are encouraged to rise up, confront the U.S. government, kick off the revolution, be part of the solution, liberate the Confederate States of America, the Alamo, placed as the Capitol. Analyst assessment, episode 54. Clip posted by NBC News. Clip entitled, Watch Live, Trump Participates in Immigration and Border Security Round Table. Posted April 5, 2019. Airtime, 52 minutes, 2 seconds. Enter into the clip, 32 minutes, 50 seconds. Computer-generated action. Placed to the statement, incentivized illegal migrants. Agent seated next to the presenter, Chicano accent. Scratched face. At the same moment mentioned was illegal migrants. A reminder, he was also once. He, the illegal migrant border patrol agent. Or no, it's just his family member. Though he's another. It's a reminder, computer generated, plays action to play on the psyche of the viewer. 32 minutes, 51 seconds, statement made official. USICE official. We must amend these outdated laws. Should have been. Noted again is the need. Outdated, ill-legislated U.S. immigration laws should be amended. Better yet, some repealed. The reason for the mention is another reminder the system has failed. Exactly what immigration laws? Needs to be more specific, not just the whole system. 32. Well, of course, it's only some of the laws. Well, which laws? Which ones are outdated? Which legislated acts are making for the crisis situation? Legislation, laws. 32 minutes, 52 seconds, backwards riddle. That have created pull factors that basically incentivized illegal migrants to cross the border by the thousands every day. Analyst assessment. These comments are being made by an unnamed official in a dark suit over to the left side of the screen, who works for ICE, USICE. House assessment statement stated that have created poll factors that basically incentivized doesn't have significance. Incentivized isn't actually a word. Rubbish English. Someone's incentivized. The incentive. They're incentivized, or they were given incentive, or that made for the incentive. Interesting use of the word. Makes for confusion. It's computer-placed dialogue. Picked up the fiddle where it was stated, we must amend these outdated laws to detour the illegal immigration and to prevent the effective operation. Our legal immigration system, again, made was confusion with prevent the effective operation. Statement should have been to not hinder the effective operation. U.S. immigration legal system. Use of the word prevent effectively prevents the operation. Requested was the termination U.S. immigration legal system. California will be granted autonomy. Intent is to condition the public accept the new measure, the formation of the autonomous region of California. Picked up the fiddle, will play the tune. What is termed illegal immigration needs to be termed illegal migration. The tune that they play is that they're accepting of the idea the U.S. system of governance is defunct, outdated. Changes need to be made. So why not just toss out the whole system? Especially when the commander-in-chief often makes derogatory statements about an entire branch of the government, be it the judiciary or the legislative branches. Both receive criticism, slurs, computer-generated placed by the USDIA with the intent to break up the U.S. territory. Not be held accountable. The ones who mismanagement, year after year experience the citizens of the United States of America. The ones who mismanage that system plan on not being held accountable. Built themselves an underground where they'll be in command, firmly in place, while the who are ushered in due to a crisis situation, forced by the police state to take the new regulations upon arrival into the underground, well as above ground, due to the declared crisis situation. The new measures that need to be taken, the regulations in place, the population forced to be obedient, the measures enforced by the police state. 32 minutes, 59 seconds. America, and again, I must be the unnamed official that works for USICE. Listeners out there, don't use that slang expression for the entity. That's what they had planned for the population. It doesn't have significance, as does U.S. Immigration Customs Enforcement. Be sure to put that U.S. who holds responsibility, the entity of which that entity serves. No, the country of which that entity serves. The United States of America isn't receiving mention, and there's a reason why. The population is being conditioned to give up their nation. And this didn't happen overnight. It's been going on for years. 32 minutes, 59 seconds. Statement made by ICE official. Again, I'll repeat, because there's a second part. America is also facing a public safety crisis. Shifts gears, planted the idea. Needed is prevent the effective operation of the U.S. immigration legal system. On to the next, no longer in the abstract. Viewer picks up the slang term used for nation. Agent used the name America. Didn't continue with our country. Viewer enters into analytical thought process. Associates our with America instead of with USA. Instead of with the country USA. Our immigration perceived as America immigration. South Pole to North Pole, listener. The region known as the Western Hemisphere. Though since the 1500s was known as the Americas. Or was it before? No, there was Hisperia. And then came about America. Why? I'm not sure. An explorer named Americo? about to be former U.S. citizen will become an America citizen, another of the Western Hemisphere, an ambiguous name that pertains to the entire region, pole to pole, America. That is North Pole to South Pole, listener. From Antarctica to past Greenland, they're Americans. They're on the... And it's a string of continents. Well, no, but there's zones. There's an isthmus. Well, there's North America, Central America, South America. Technically includes the Caribbean, part of the Western Hemisphere, the Americas. I mean, because the Caribbean is the Caribbean. Well, Yankee has turned themselves into an American from America. Oh. They had that done to them by the USDIA. They've been stripped of their identity. They do not associate as a U.S. citizen. They identify as an American, an inhabitant in the Western Hemisphere that resides somewhere between the North Pole and the South Pole. About to become nomadic. Well, they're being grouped in with the illegal migrant. Termed a person, as a group, people, often mentioned as them and they. Well, so is the illegal migrant in the same conversation. What's the conditioning? For the population to accept they're the same. About to migrate. All planned by the USDIA, who build an elaborate underground. That's where the Yankee nation's worth can be found. They fleeced the nation. The ones who mismanaged. Year after year, mismanaged the system. It's a business. About to be declared defunct. Bankrupt. The official statement? Just couldn't do it. No more money. Couldn't make the payment. Bankrupt. 33 minutes. 1 second. Statement made USICE official. ICE has had to resign hundreds of our officers to the border. Right there, if we stop, listeners, as analysts, what should be stated and why is it being stated in this way again and over again? Well, let's take a look. No U.S. place to the term ICE, which is made into a common word, not spelled out in letters. I'm not going to repeat the term. Ice, I have some in the cup. I chew ice often. Has had to resign hundreds of our officers. Should be hundreds of USICE officials, termed by the agent officers, to the U.S. border. And it should be U.S. southern border if that's what he's referring to. Limits the ability of USICE, not limiting our ability, and continued the official, quote, to arrest, remove criminal aliens, gang members, and public safety threats from our communities. House assessment. Statement is to condition the one who chooses to listen, participate by watching the program, be informed. ICE, such as Border Patrol, separate from the U.S., statement made ICE has had to resign 100 of our officers. Needs to be stated, ICE has had to, and it's them. They're immigration. They aren't YALO. No. Has had to reassign hundreds of officers to the U.S. border. Statement use of our separates the presenter from the employer entity. USICE statement use of our affiliates the officers with the group of our. given is the officers, due to been reassigned, obvious pertain to the entity USICE, most likely will be associated to the group America, will have a conflict with what is termed Border Patrol, which will be the militant operators on the front lines of the autonomous region of California. This is being planned. Reassigned obvious pertain to the entity USICE. Inappropriate is the hour. Done with the intent, program the viewer, except multitude of officials will break away. USICE will no longer exist. One group with autonomous California, other with Homeland Security. That plays private guard to America. Probably will term country America, use a flag similar to what is placed behind the leader, President Don. The Betsy Ross is about to be gifted to the autonomous region of California. When the clip reaches 48 minutes, the USDIA will acknowledge the Betsy Ross is being handed to what is termed Border Patrol. The dark suit that snaps the pictures in the third row, bottom of the screen, reconning for the operation. The about to happen computer-generated assassination. Don won't be there to answer. He'll peel off that mask and put on another. Be relaxing. Enjoying the anonymity of not having to be, well, part of not being held responsible. Another. The other, well, computer-generated gone. 33 minutes, 10 seconds. The other will be gone, the one that's known as Don. He'll have moved on, be part of the board of directors of the private entity America. 33 minutes, 10 seconds. Statement made USICE official, and whether that be America or Homeland Security or any other name that's placed, because once USA goes away, it'll be one name after another placed. Every time there's a problem that arises, another name will appear and then disappear as soon as there's another problem. Such as how run are the corporations. The products that they make, they're not responsible. That corporation went away and others were formed. A way to avoid responsibility. The proven product, USA, about to go away. 33 minutes, 10 seconds. Statement made, USICE official. Just in the fiscal year 2018, ICE arrested approximately 10,000 gang members, including 2,000 that were the members of gang name. Absolutely. And if they're not sure the name, well then look at, well, they can't really look. Listen to Don's statements. Associate is the name, again, over again, planted into the minds of the viewer to associate the gang problem with only one gang. Termed, declared, the enemy of the USA. And so far, Don, as Commander-in-Chief of the U.S. Armed Forces, hasn't been able to do much with that one mentioned gang. In combating the problem. Though the situation will occur, about to arise, the crisis. Gang name will be right there on the front lines with Border Patrol, part of the vanguard, autonomous region of California. Absolutely ridiculous. Name one of the groups. No need to place again the name. Gang problem been around nearly long as the drug problem. War on drugs, now war on gangs. though just a war on one gang. Repeated again over again. Name of the gang. Condition the public. Except as notorious. Made out to be more. What really is, if Yankee Sam wanted to terminate in the group that's often named the Notorious Gang, use of proxy governments. Country of El Salvador, country of Honduras, country of Guatemala, country of Mexico. Any of you out there, listeners? Normally don't use you. Any listeners out there? Remember Operation Condor? Operation Condor Part 2. Instead of hunting down communists, they confront the gangs. Use the same tactics. Over would be the issue that of gangs being a problem arriving from countries such as just were mentioned. Death squads. Yankee Sam had no problem running death squads in Latin America for year after year in the 70s and the 80s, including in the 60s. As far as Operation Condor, that was the 70s. Door to door. Shot on sight, taken outside. Example for all the neighborhood. U.S. law enforcement nor the U.S. Armed Forces will defeat gang name. Long as even one member operates, organization functions, war not over, victory not gained. Defeated by one gang. If declared been war on the gang problem, would have been seen. Curb violence, reduce drug flow, positive advancements, war on one group, bound for defeat. U.S. Armed Forces, U.S. law enforcement, demoralize the United States of America. The might of those mentioned groups couldn't defeat one gang that receives name association quite frequently. Our one only God, He helps me do this rhyme, line by line. I do give my thanks, along with gratitude, for our one only God. One mention before ending the episode, court, May 23rd, 8:30 in the morning, Redding, California, Shasta County Superior Court, Division 2, facing 2 felonies, years in prison. I'd appreciate some assistance. If they're not clear, this is the first episode that the listener is tuned into, go ahead. There's many episodes. This is 54. 52 approximately describe well the situation. At least 50. There's a knife charge and there's a false information to an official. Stated my birth name. The police department recognized that I do have that birth name. That knife was worn on my hip every day for 5 months on their doorstep. They need to walk by me to exit and enter the office. Multitude of coppers witnessed the knife, including at the main intersection entrance to the Redding Police Department, who does not receive any type of oversight. Our one only God, line by line, helps me do this rhyme. I do give thanks, along with gratitude, for our one only God. Momentarily, Bigbossjock signing off.